Have you ever dreamed of starting your own business, but when you think about all the paperwork involved, the strategy, the processes, and you just freeze, right? Or maybe you have a business plan, or maybe you heard about it, but you don't know where to start from. You don't know anything that is involved in that processes. Well, in today's video, you are in luck because I'm going to share everything I know about writing a business plan, step by step, what investors like to see. And trust me, this is easier than you think. Now, before we dive in, let's talk about why exactly do you need a business plan. If you don't want to hire anyone in your business, if you don't want investors to invest in your business, you are good to go. You don't need a business plan. But guess what? If you need to hire, if people are going to be in your business, you're going to have teams, they want to know where your business is heading. They need to know the vision. Your investors, they need to know where your business is heading so that they can invest. They need to make sure that where you're investing their money is going to make profits. There's no way you are going to get an investor if you don't have a business plan. It's really not going to happen. So a business plan is the pointer. It's not just like a piece of papers with written word. This is a roadmap. So you're providing a roadmap even for your own mindset, which will help you craft a vision for your business. And ultimately, this will provide the clarity, and this is the main key to success. And also, I will also provide the templates if you need them so that you can use them to write your own business, summaries or executive summaries. Everything I'm going to talk about in this video, you're going to have them under the link below. Now, the first thing we need to talk about, step one, is executive summary. So executive summary, this is a short version of what you do, right? This is like an elevator pitch of your business plan, right? Here you talk about what your business's idea is, right? Who are your customers? What problems are you solving? Basically the simple stuff, right? What are your goals? So basically here you remember to keep it short, right? You don't want to keep 2 pages enough. Just keep it simple. This is an executive summary. This can be done in many ways. We provide templates down below, but just be clear about and intentional about what you're writing here, because this will drive investors away or it will keep them hooked into investing in your business. So keep that in mind. That's an executive summary, just a simple version of your business goals, what you want to achieve, a problem you're solving, and the idea you have, basically done. And even if this is a small thing you start with, first impression accounts. And don't mess this up, right? That's why you have templates. Make sure you click the link below to download them, but make sure you just have this figured out first. Step two is a business description. You are talking about, what your business is all about. Here we're going to talk about all the nuggets, what you're going to provide, everything. This is where you describe everything your business is doing in details, right? What's your business structure? Is it an LLC? Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it a C corp, an S corp? Just the business structure, right? In details. You also need to talk about, product or services you are offering, right? Which product are you offering? Services. Which business model are you going to use? Are you going to use freemium? Are you going to use, paid models? What's your target market or demographic? All of that, right? You need to talk about how is your business different from other competitions? What is your unique value proposition? Everything here you need to talk about in details what you're going to do in your business. And a pro tip here, after a decade of doing this, please don't feel ashamed of sharing more details about things like this in the product, in business description, because here ultimately stakeholders and investors, they want to know everything that makes you unique and different from other businesses or corporations. So just explain everything in details as much as humanly possible and give clarity. Don't repeat yourselves, just give clarity on everything you are going to do. And above all, just be specific. Just be specific, talk what makes you unique, everything. Investors will love this. Step three is about market research, right? This is a big one. This section is important. This is important. Unless you have a monopoly product, a product other people don't have, you need to do a market research. And the reason you do market research, you need to answer basically like 4 questions, right? First of all, who are your competitors? Who are you competing with, right? What's the target market size? How many people can you serve? Or what is actually the market size, you know, are you targeting? The third thing is, what are trends that are shaping your industry? Is your industry being shaped by AI? If it's an AI, then you are in a good place, because now you're going to have more investors trying, to put everything into one basket, because there is AI. If your business can be, elevated by AI or scalable by AI, then you have a good product, right? And also one of the thing is the pricing strategy, right? We talked about this. Which models do you use? Freemium? Do you offer trials? Does people pay in cash? Do people pay in subscriptions, right? You have to have these market research criteria established in your business plan. Now, I don't want you to worry about this, because most of the time people spend months and months doing this. But I mean, yes, you have to do market research, but at the end of the day, market research, the best market research comes from, iterating the product based on feedback, right? So if you have a feedback from a client, prospects, that's the best feedback you want. That's the best market research you want, because ultimately to make your product way better, and it will attract more people. But again, you don't have to worry about market research. You don't need all the answers right now, because you can have all the answers and you will still fail. But at the end of the day, a little bit of research will just make you look, prepared in front of investors and potential people, partners who can join your business, even the co-founders. Even the co-founders can come and say, hey, I want to know the vision, right? So you better be prepared about this, because this is all about knowing, where to look for answers, right? And understanding everything, the landscape which you're operating in. So do a little bit of market research, but don't dwell on it, right? It's cool. Now, step 4, this is where things get juicy, because we're talking about marketing and sales strategy. And this is my favorite part, because as a marketer, because I consider myself as a marketer, here is where you make the difference. If you have a good product, you did the market research, then the difference is going to come from here, because 60 or 80% of the sales that comes into the business, they come from marketing. So if you do marketing very well, if no one knows your product, then you are sucked. So just do a little bit of market research. So I want you to understand that marketing and sales strategy, this will stand everything, right? Sales funnels, running ads, paid ads, cold calling, everything that involves marketing and sales strategy. This is the fun part where you get to be creative. This can really differentiate you from, an amateur or an experienced business owner. Because how will you get a product or services into the hands of our customers? This is the most question you need to answer when you're doing marketing. And you need to consider these like 4 questions, 3 questions. What is your sales process? What are you going to do? How are you going to get customers into the door? Are you going to do cold calling? Are you going to do, I don't know, cold calling, uh, running paid ads, warming clients that you have already uh, serviced? What exactly are you going to do to get customers into the door? Are you going to run campaigns? Are you going to showrooms, like how Rolls-Royce promotes their product? They don't run flexible ads. When you go to buy a jet, there is a Rolls-Royce on the side. That's their marketing model. So what is yours? How are you going to get customers? Now, obviously, your product is not expensive as a $500,000 car, Rolls-Royce. But again, what is your unique value proposition, or how are you going to get your customers? What does your sales process look like, right? Are you going to knock on doors? It depends on the product you're selling, obviously, right? So that's the first question you need to ask yourself. The second thing is your marketing plan, right? Your marketing plan basically means, how do you plan on marketing your product? Are you going to use social media? Are you going to use email campaigns? Do you have an email list already? How will you correct an email list if you want one? It will require you to make content. It will require you, to provide value before you ask for an email. So how are you going to gain an email list? You create content. So this will help you establish a way. You need to think about how you get customers on several platforms. If you're going to make videos on TikTok, videos on YouTube, tutorials, wherever, just be intentional and know exactly how you're going to, you know, the marketing plan, which various platforms are you going to use. The third thing is, how will you build your customer relationship, right? The customer relationship. Now, this happens in many different ways, but you have to think about this. Okay, let's say you are for business coaching. Obviously, you need communities. You need communities online. You can use, I don't know, Psycho, you can use school, you can use wherever. But if it's something that you need to build a customer relationship, then you need to be intentional on which areas you do that. Can you do forums, or are you going to do events? Because events are a good way of, hosting events and bringing in people who are mostly your customers and other people on the side to really have an engaging conversation about your sector, your industry, and everything. Just think about the marketing, right? Because many people, when they do events, which I plan to do in years coming, when you do events, bring like 1,000 people, that's a great way of marketing. And many people can sell more products in those uh, events. So just be intentional about it and think about everything you need to do to really attract your customers. And you need to include everything we talked about this in your business plan. Let's go to step 5. Step 5 is a fun one because this is organizational structure. And when we talk about organizational structure, uh, here we talk about, teams, people, roles, tasks. Who is going to be in charge of this? Do you have a CFO? Do you have a founder? Do you have a CEO? Do you have all of these things? You don't need them, of course, all of them, but ultimately, the investors are going to need to know who is handling marketing, who is managing finances, who is managing employees or directing them, who is in charge of internship, who is in charge of all of that, or who is the product manager if you need one. All these are questions that needs to be answered. Obviously, you don't need all of them. You are just starting, you don't have everything. But as you grow, you iterate and you change the script here, the business plan, to include everything that is happening, because the investors love answers. And anytime an investor asks you something and you have no clarity about it, that really depreciate how much trust they can have in your product, or ultimately investing in your business. So just be intentional, guys. Be intentional. If you're starting a business, just be clear about this. Don't just go empty-handed into a boarding room pitching your ideas, which is cool, but just even this whole presentation, they might not ask for it, right? But maybe depending on your charisma, your confidence, all of that, but just have this somewhere, right? Everything's settled up. And also, many people say, hey, but I'm doing business alone. I don't really need a business plan. Well, just have it, right? Have it. Because as we evolve, your perception and your goals change. So as we evolve, think about the structure of your business as you grow. As you grow, you change it, you change it, you change. So just have it in place, even if you're one person in the business. Now, let's go to step 6, financial plan. Now, it's not as scary as you think about, but we need to think about the financials, like the numbers, how we make money, how we lose money, how much money we spend on marketing, how much money are we willing to spend on ads, even if we might not, see direct results. We need to think about this, and it's not as scary as it sounds like. But you need to answer these simple questions like, how much money do you need to start? Do you need to pay rent? Do you need to pay, I don't know, stuff that you might need in your business? Obviously, depending on which idea you have. I don't know which idea you have, but if you need to know which idea you can start, you can watch a video above. Now, when you know how much money you need to start, then you start thinking about, okay, this is how much money I need to start. Then the second thing is, what is my projected income and expenses? How much money I'm going to spend? You know, all these expenses, income projected, how much money I'm going to make maybe in my first quarter, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, how much money I'm going to make. This is what we call financial plan. So you need to think about this, be intentional about it, right? Now, the third thing you need to do, which is very, very important, is a break-even analysis. Now, a break-even analysis simply means when will you make profit? Because not every business that starts making profit, obviously. I can give you an example. Amazon, almost 10 years, spent almost 10 years with no profit. And you might be like, oh, but that is a big business. How can a big business like that run for 10 years without profit? Well, they were running on investments, like investors. Someone brings 100 million, another one brings 100 million, another one brings 100 million. Then they say, you know what? You're going to use your 100 million, and these three are going to trust you. You're going to trust others so that they will make money. You're just going to trust them and trust in the investment. You're not going to make money from right now, but you make money in the future. So now that is wild because, but they consider you need to be able to convince people and be sure that you have a marketing validation of the product. That's maybe why simply for Amazon it worked, right? Because having a business, spending like 100, imagine you're an investor, you give me 100 million and you don't expect any profit after 10 years. Like it's wild. But that's what happened, right? One investor trusted another investor, and an investor trusted another investor so that they can bring more money into the business. And look right now, it's, I don't know, 3 trillion. I don't know how the value of Amazon, but it's in the trillions. So I guess that paid off very well. But let's not even go to $100 million investment in a portfolio. Let's just even say $100,000, $50,000. If I'm giving you that money, I need to know when I'm going to start seeing the profit. So that's why you need a break-even analysis, because the longer the break-even analysis is, the less likely you are going to have investors invest in your business. Because if they see there's no potential, unless your idea seems to have a huge margin of profits. So that's why you need to be intentional about doing a market research, if you can make money. Because if you cannot make money, then your break-even analysis is going to take a long time. And if it takes a long time, say goodbye to having any investor investing in your business. Now, many people start saying, but somewhere I'm not a financial guru. I'm not either. I don't know finances, but I'm pretty sure I understand the cash flow. I know what is liabilities. I understand what is assets. I know what is expenses. I know what is revenue. I know what is basically cash flow. Just keep simple estimates, right? This is a roadmap to understand the cash flow and making sure the business stays afloat, right? You can't tell me you don't know if you're making profit or not. Be intentional about it. Now, finally, you need to have the appendix, right? The appendix, this section basically means you need extra information you want to include, like, legal documents, resumes of key team members, or product photos. You don't need to fill up with everything. Just add what is necessary, right? And I promise you, this is going to make you look very, very professional, right? Now, I know this sounds a lot to take in, but simply just try to visualize a business plan, right? This is a simple business plan. Take it, take the template down below, include every detail you want. You can even use ChatGPT. This is not even hard, people, right? This is not even hard. But guess what? The extra effort is going to make you look professional in front of investors. So make sure you have this. Remember all the key details here. These are just tools. Business plan is a tool. You might not even need it to say the truth, but just have it in your arsenal and keep it around yourself. Read it every day just to know where you're heading. But if you're watching this and don't even have a business idea, you don't know what you want to do, I urge you to watch this video above so you can have a clear, you can see, hey, do I have an idea? Is it profitable? Then watch this video because it will give you clarification, a little bit of how your business idea can come to life. So watch this video.